Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So this is going to be one of those solo games that I'm going to record anyway. Now, what I'm going to be doing today, then, is... There's actually a mod that's taken my interest, and that is the Antebellum mod. So what I'm going to do here, then, is actually just show you that I've also been watching My Hero Academia, if you guys saw that there. So here we go, the Antebellum mod. So, following the defeat of the Hussites in Bohemia, Europe enjoyed years of relative peace and stability, but everything is about to change. With the sudden death of the Frankish Emperor and his only son, the throne was seized by his brother, old and hated Lothar, who hasn't yet produced a legitimate heir. If he died heirless, his death would not only mean an extinction for the Carolingian dynasty, but would also cause great turmoil within the Holy Roman Empire. Meanwhile, another threat strangles Europe from the south as Muslim sultanates of Sicily and Andalusia are prepared for their imminent invasion of Italy and Iberia. In the Middle East, an era of stagnation of the Nizarid dynasty comes to an end as young Abdul becomes a new leader with ambition to purge the Levant of Crusader states. Order, which existed in Europe for centuries, is about to fall, and this mod will give you an opportunity to experience it firsthand. Antebellum is a Eurocentric alt history mod where the main goal is to offer new and interesting country setup, provide fresh gameplay, and focus on the flavour and depth of countries represented in the mod. So that's, to be honest, it's quite nice. It's quite nice. It's usually a lot of mods out there that don't really... by the way, I'm not sponsored in any way. Hint, hint, yeah. Hint, hint, hint. Could change. But yeah, we can see here new nations, formable countries, new decisions, new events, missions, over 50 new provinces, wasteland cultures, age, abilities, bookmarks, new religious mechanics, new national ideas, historical rivalries and friendships for new countries, expanded dynamic province names, and new government reforms. So there's actually, it's actually really, there's quite a lot here, which is really quite nice. Really quite like that. So what I'm going to do here then is we're going to go into the game, and I did play a previous game just to get the feel for the mod. I always liked Francia. Now, Francia and the Carolingian dynasty, and obviously the Merovingian dynasty that preceded them, just this sort of time frame here for Francia, it's something I really want to, I don't know, one day read up more upon, really. It's an area of it's an area of history that does interest me, actually. So I like stuff like this. I've got a soft spot for like Francia. I've got a soft spot for this sort of like setup. But yes, the year is 1444 AD. You can see that we have the Nizarids over here. The Nizarids. We do have Byzantium, which is in a slightly better position, I suppose. In some ways, yeah, there's Nicaea over here. They don't have the Ottoman Empire breathing down their neck. They're still not doing particularly fantastic. It seems they're mostly in competition with Bulgaria over here. We do have Croatia, Serbia, Wallachia, the Magyars, so we don't have a unified Hungary. But we do have Tengri here in Europe still, which is quite interesting. We do have Slavic and Remover. Catholic over here, Norse, Siumanetsko, however you pronounce that. I can't pronounce things. But yeah, we do have a Sunni southern Italy here, a Muslim southern Italy. Islamic is probably a better way of saying that. Which is quite interesting. Some interesting nations over here, Marrakesh. Yeah, some very interesting differences over here. I think the New World is more or less the same. More or less the same. It did say it was focused on Europe after all. Which would make sense. I mean, obviously, if events in Europe were a little bit different, then I don't think it would necessarily affect the, the history of the other parts of the world, really. Okay. Well, we do have England over here under the Plantagenets. Cornwall, Wales is independent. Scotland, obviously, Ireland is Ireland. We do have Lothrangia over here as well, which is interesting. King Frederick. But yeah, Francia. Now, Francia has some very interesting ideas. We do have Empire of the Romans. Since the coronation of Charlemagne as the Emperor of the Romans, we held that title with pride. Even though the empire was divided into three parts after the Treaty of Verdun, we managed to reclaim the eastern part of the Carolingian Empire, and since then, Frankish and Holy Roman crowns belong to us. So we do have imperial authority growth there. The conquest of the Eastern Empire. The Carolingian dynasty lost the German throne in the early 10th century. Our ambitious rulers were successful in their conquest, and after more than 2 centuries of wars and struggle, they have reunited the empire that was broken more than 500 years ago. So province war score. Cavalry traditions. The cavalry traditions in the Frankish army can be traced back to the time of Charles Martel and his triumph over the Muslim invaders of Francia. Carolingian dynasty. The Carolingians are one of the, if not the most influential dynasty in Europe. At its peak, the thrones of 5 separate kingdoms belonged to members of our dynasty. Lords of Europe. The Franks have established the largest empire in Europe since the fall of Western Rome. The fact that it still exists after 900 years of existence just proves our right and legitimacy to rule. Revolutionized siege? That's really quite like. I like siege ability, it always comes in handy. So we start with increased morale and tolerance to the true faith. I mean, that tolerance to the true faith it's useful, you know. It is quite nice. So I think we'll go with that. We do begin the game with King Lothar, Carolingian. I like saying that. I like, yeah. I've always had, like, a itch to try my hand at Victoria 2 modding and try to, like, develop, like, a Neo-Carolingian Empire mod. Just because I don't know, I just like the idea. I'd love to see that sort of thing represented. But here we go. Ideally, the audio is okay. It's been a while since I played EU4, seriously, to be honest. So, we'll see how we get on. I mean, this is, as far as I can tell, like, mostly vanilla. So it should be easy enough. Okay. So we do have a fleet over here. So what we'll do then, start by taking a look at the trade. So, yeah, much the same as usual here. We do have the Champagne trade node over here. So we're pushing trade from Bordeaux and from the Rhineland. Yeah, I mean, this is it, isn't it? It's like, we just have to try and push trade towards us, really. Trade does flow in some interesting ways around here. There's a number of nations around, as we are namely one of them. The difficult part is the fact that he's infertile, which is not exactly great. He's a very poor king. He's not a very well-liked king, and he's quite old. But we do have a number of actual things here to begin with, so you can see here that we could form Francia, which is interesting, actually. So this is... right, okay. Interesting. So I think that's if we lose the Carolingians. We do have the Frankish Empire. So that would have its own Paris, Caen, Armagnac, Montpellier, Savoy, Genoa, Milan, Rome, Vienna, Nuremberg, Frankfurt, Aachen, Bremen, and Amsterdam. And that would allow us to form the Frankish Empire. That's quite cool. We have Western Rome. The Germans, the Franks, many have claimed to be the heirs of the Western Roman Empire, but nobly managed to restore the Empire's glory and former borders until now. So, very much similar there. We do have proclaimed the Latin Empire if we so wish to do so, which is interesting. And that would have us owning Constantinople and Adrianople. Which would be pretty easy there. Right, so we would no longer be part of the Holy Roman Empire. But that is interesting, but you can gain new traditions and ambitions there. But I imagine that probably applies to a lot of different nations over here. I don't know if it just applies to, like, the... was it Languedoc? I forget what the name is for, like... the French language group. But or culture group. Culture, you know what I mean. Okay, so... we do begin the game here. Take a look at the actual diplomacy of Francia. So we have a number of vassals. Dauphin, Adelphi, Gascon, Occitania. We do have Catalonia as a march. Okay. So I can't integrate them until 1454, so it's only about 10 years until we can begin to integrate these guys. I'd like to integrate them just to begin to cut down on the diplomatic relations, because at the moment you can see that we are 5 out of 5, which does kind of make it hard. It's like we are the, we are the emperor at the moment of the Holy Roman Empire, but obviously I can't make strategic marriages nor strategic alliances to try and just keep the electors on side, which is difficult. So I think all our lands are in the Empire, which is interesting. And the good news is, if we were to ever lose the Emperorship, would still be a very large nation in the Empire. Would be probably the largest nation in the Empire. Yes, indeed, we would be the largest empire in the Empire. So that's something good. That's very good. Now, we are going to have to try and deal with the Shadow Kingdom event, which is basically when Italy tries to leave the Empire. Which is not going to be super easy to deal with, to be honest. It might be that we try to fabricate war against Venice pretty early. So if I take a look over here then, yeah, that's a vassal of the papacy there, so that makes things difficult. So we're going to get the papacy. Now, it might be a little bit easier in this timeline due to the fact that Sicily. We do have Islamic Sicily here, the Sultanate of Sicily. Now, they're going to be breathing down the neck of the papacy here. So that could be very advantageous for us. It might give us an ability to get in here. I think what I might have to do, and it is somewhat, it is going to piss off the vassals. I need to be able to core, or be able to core anything down here to conquer anything. But then it comes down to, do I actually want to conquer something, or do I want to try and vassalize something? I think the best thing I could probably do then is, I don't know, I think Venice is too large to vassalize. At least it seems that way at the moment in time. We need to figure out how we're going to take them down. Croatia would accept an alliance, and Croatia does have a core over there. And this is it, it's difficult. Because obviously these are nations in the Empire. We need to figure out how we're going to do it. I'm going to need a few of these provinces. I think we're going to need this province over here as well. I need to figure out a way if I could try and fabricate against the Sicilian Sultanate. It might be that we take one of these provinces over here from one of our vassals, in fact. Ideally something cheap and easy to core. The thing is, I've got to try and keep the vassals on side as well. Because obviously that makes a decent amount of the economy here. It's not going to be easy. We do begin with a very large army. We are the Emperor, so we do have that helping us out. Like, if I take a look over here, so Holy Roman Empire. Yep, so you can see that really does increase the amount of tax that we gain, manpower and land force limit. So it's very, very good for us. Yeah, 3 cities in the Holy Roman Empire. Very good. Now, the moment I have 25 prestige, prestige is going to be important, but I could try to use that to boost the estates. It feels weird, like, working with the vanilla estates, to be honest. I'm going to have one diplomat reserved for the actual subject nations. One for neighbouring countries as well. I think what we could try to do here, then, due to the fact that we don't have an heir, and we don't have the ability to really... Well, I mean, I could increase the amount of diplomatic relations I have, but Burgundy's interesting. They're our rival. I've got to try and keep La Francia within check as well, because they're quite powerful. And they're not in the Empire. And they do separate us from the rest of the Empire, which is interesting. So we have a rival of Francia, England, and Andalusia. Andalusia. Take a look at our mission tree. So secure the throne. King Lothar is quite old already and has not yet produced an heir. We must save the Carolingian dynasty. Have an heir. Fortify the borders. So Lambord. I'm gonna horrifically pronunciate these names, by the way. Okay, so it would require me to own this province and this province over here. Which I could do. I could take these from the vassals to actually try to satisfy that mission. If I was meant to do that, so that raise an army. Gives me 15 army tradition, and permanent claim on the Vasconia area. Intervene in Navarra, so again claim in Castile and Asturias. Liberate Castile. Wow. Conquer Burgundy. So give me claims on that area of Lorraine. Okay, this takes us down, so southern France, Italian ambition, conquer Venice, take central Italy. There's quite a few missions here, actually. Right. Secure the electors. That one's quite good, actually. Now, you're not our puppet. You would accept vassalization if I pushed it. Let's see. No cause. You have a core over here, actually, though. Okay. Just gonna try and figure out who's gonna be very useful. Well, you have cores all here. I could ally myself with the Milanese. They have an enemy in Venice, but they don't have them set as a rival. It might be worthwhile going over the limit there to actually have an ally in Italy. I could then try to use them against... I think I might just have to go for a no-CB war, but if I could actually get into the war with the... Duchy Milan, then maybe I could feed them these lands, and then that would keep it in the Empire. I could release them, but I need them to be in the Empire, or owned by somebody who's in the Empire, or subject to somebody in the Empire. But we have a lot of other things to take into consideration. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself now. I'd love to rival... like Sicily or Venice, actually, but we'll go with it for now. I mean, I could do a few things, like I could take Brazilian, and then it would at least give me a port into the Mediterranean. But they're a loyal march right now. There's a lot of others that who aren't loyal right now. So let's see, what do we have for advisors? You're excellent. Yep, because ours is tanking right now due to our terrible, terrible king. National manpower. That is something that I need to get up, especially if we are... And this is it, you can never have enough manpower as the Emperor. Tax. Make hay while the sun shines. State maintenance. Right, we have no idea group at the moment. I think what I need to do is try to integrate the vassals here as quickly as, and yeah, just quickly as possible, really. I wish I had another diplomat. So it might be worthwhile trying to go for the papacy over here, trying to become the papal controller, which would be very handy. I could try to vassalize the Pope. But that's not easy, said and done. I think we need the Sicilians to do something for us. Okay. So we have our relationship here with Venice. Sorry, with Milan. So at least that does give me a powerful ally there in Italy. Okay. I'm going to need a lot of gold. I could go over the actual limit here. And that's going to be important for having lots of vassals, actually. We'll see what we can do. Okay. Need to figure out what we're going to do first, then. We have time ticking on by. We're now loyal. I could try to improve our... I think it might be worthwhile to actually improve our relations with the vassals with the royal marriage. It does decrease our legitimacy, but it does increase the chance of a new heir. We need an heir. So I'm going to marry into all of the actual... vassals. Yeah, 15%. Gives us more legitimacy as well. Improves relations with these guys too, which is good news. See, I could try and feed you all this Burgundian land, actually. That'd probably be a better idea, actually. There we go. Yeah, there we go. The Kingdom of Italy and the Empire. For years now, imperial authority over the Kingdom of Italy has been waning. Successive emperors have failed to impose their will on the Italian states, and large areas that now formerly part of the Empire have been lost to Venice and the Papal States, who reject the Empire's right to them. Unless northern Italy is firmly brought back into the Empire, the states there may slip out of imperial control forever. Yeah, 1490, goddammit. Ah, it's not great. Right, bring the spending up. Don't want to do that yet. That gives them a dangerous amount of influence, though. Can't do that. I can't, yeah. I'll just bite the bullet and get a new general. Okay. So we'll let the army come up to scratch. I'm going to have it actually consolidate. I need to actually take a look at the army. Okay. Bring it up to 30,000, I guess. But to be honest, what I'm going to do is have it split in half. Yeah, the nobility lose 25 loyalty. Not good. I can't afford to give them too much in the way of influence. Otherwise, we are going to be subject to, well, crisis. Wow. And of course they have a superb general. Always a good one. Okay, they are splitting up though, so at least is something. Right, I can make use of that. Should be able to defeat them. Thank God for that. Okay. Charles... Yeah, that's a fitting name for the new emperor to be. It's not terrible either. Glory Seeker. Prestige. Well, that's quite good. I always like having that additional prestige available on tap, really. Okay. So we have Secure the Throne. So that does give us diplomatic reputation for 15 years. Which is really good. It also gives us claim to Normandy and Britain. Yeah, well, Brittany. I want to say Bretonia. I was thinking of Warhammer then. Bretonia. That's the Bretonia. Oh, hello. The state takes control of the guild. The spice must flow. I like this, actually. So we have Frankish events here. That's cool. Just drinking a little bit of coffee there. So I could gain stability. It does give that tax. I'll go for the stability. It's also handy if I need to do an OCB war over here. Okay, begin to try and build that up. I need to see if I can make any use of that. Right, return you. Right, there we go. That's unfortunately cost us, so that is the nobility there who have risen up against us. But they've been put down by the army of the kingdom. Of the empire. Oh yeah, Empire Kingdom. With a king. With a king and emperor. But that's spending down a little bit. Not going to need the army as of yet. Okay. They are disloyal at the moment. I think what I'm going to do then is try and feed these lands to our vassal here. Aligned with Mantua. Trent. You know what? That that actually could give us a really good way in. Are they part of the Empire? They're part of the Empire. You're not part of the Empire. This is our way in. Excellent. Right, begin to fabricate claims. I'm going to need against Venice anyhow. Ooh. The agricultural revolution. I think manpower's going to be a very good thing for us. Then again, I am the Emperor, so I do gain more manpower. Yeah. I guess tax? I don't know. Sometimes I need to figure out really how. Hello, what do I have here? Oh, claim to Savoy. That'd be awkward. Oh, you have the same dynasty, I see. And as Bohemia. Wow. Right, England's going to attack Wales. I could try to get our boy in there. Even over here, actually. To be honest, I'm going to try for that. It is going to cost me another relation, but what I'm going to do is do that. So I'd like that. If I could get you under my control, that'd be excellent. You have minus prestige. Yes, that'd be a succession war between Francia and England. Which I would win. That's because I'm already here. Assuming they were on my side and not on the English side. I could try to increase the relations with them. Okay. Right, England's at war with Wales. So we do have only Cologne voted for us at the moment. I'm going to have to try and improve my relations with them. I think I'm going to try to go for the diplomatic idea, really, just because it is going to make things easier. Though, saying that, it might be better to go for something else. Legitimacy is excellent. Yeah. Prestige is increasing, thankfully. I need influence in the papacy. We do have 2 cardinals, though. That's good news. Can I? So I could send an emissary to the Pope. That would give them more influence. I'll send them some money. That gives me additional papal influence over here, which is nice. Yeah, I need that. I'm not going to take that as of yet. I mean, it would give us the ability to conquer these, but I'm going to try and get this first. I need to be here soon enough, but if I can go to war with Burgundy, feed that land to Bourbon, how do you pronounce that? Vassalize Trent, or potentially, yeah, I think try and vassalize Trent. And then I could actually feed these lands to Trent, because then I'm a member of the Holy Roman Empire. And then I think that'd give us our way in, and then at least I could try to feed these lands to Trent then, or try to vassalize the Empire. The papacy. Ideally, Sicily is useful and tries to do something here. I imagine they will do. They do have claims as well, and they are pretty powerful. It's awesome to have this sort of balance, actually. This is really interesting. Right, what I'm going to do then, save a little bit of cash, is put the forts down, mothball them. We're going to need as much money as we possibly can have. So this is all very, very useful. Right, so we've been detected in Venice, I'm going to bring that guy back. I'll start working on some of the electors. Ideally, I'd be so happy if we could get you in a personal union. That would be excellent. I could try to do it over here as well. He's 21 though, so probably not worthwhile. He's not as likely to die. Please die. Please die. Right, Parma. Where are you up to, Parma? Conquering Mantua. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Right, there we go. You only won there, Mantua. Gotta try and keep on top of that. I need to build up my prestige as well. Trade dispute with England. Right, you're almost up to strength. Now you're up to strength. Oh no, you're not yet. I mean, it's so hard to argue with that for the entire game. I mean, it's one province, but it's the entire game. It's just like... I don't know, it's a bit of a no-brainer in my head. Like, at some point, it's arguably going to come in handy. Alright, there we go. A few years until I can begin to integrate them, so I'm going to have to choose which one to integrate. It's like I could actually have you integrated pretty quickly as well. Full to 50 volts, so I bring the lands into the Empire. Oh, good God, I hope we get the heir to the throne here. Just die, Frederick. Just die. Wow, okay, I'll take that. Hell yeah, I'll take that. That'll give us a nice little boost there. I might wait until we're behind, actually, and then take it, because that will last until... When does that last till? 1468. Yeah, I'm going to take that when we're behind, or before war, really. Okay, I need the... Yeah, I need the nobility to lose influence. I mean, that'd piss off the clergy as well. So I'm going to side with the clergy. They do gain influence, but the nobility loses influence. I could have done it so they both lost influence, which I suppose probably might have been worthwhile. We are going to have to watch out for this, but I have to prevent this. Manpower's recovering nicely. Excellent. Right. Fabricate. Ideally, I get as many claims as I can to make this cheaper for us, but I'm just going to feed it to you, really. Do you have any claims? No. Get some claims. You have claims, but... I'm going to make you part of the Empire, whether you like it or not. But unfortunately, this is all part of episode 1, so until next time, thank you for watching. Do comment down below, let me know what you think, and yeah, I shall try to leave a link to the mod, and if you do go ahead and download the mod, maybe leave a comment and say who brought you there. It seems a cool mod, I like it so far, I'm glad that I found it. Until next time, thank you for watching, and of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and you can follow me over on Twitch at XTRG as well, so goodbye for now.